Hi, you guys again. It's me. You already know what it is. CC, the goddess, and we are doing Kinesic magic. I wanted to skip over to chapter 4, the 7 planets, and I really wanted to get into this because when we first started with the 2 videos, that was the introduction. So I wanted to make sure that we aren't going too in depth into the introduction, and I'm going to be skipping around, so we just might find ourselves back into the introduction because sometimes there are information and things. There's information and messages and things we need to read over that is in the introduction that'll help us get through the rest of the book. Just like I have another reading tip for you avid readers out there. It will definitely give you what you need as far as reading the table of contents. You have to do that in order to comprehend more what the author is trying to portray, teach, or show you. Okay, so that's a great tip for you avid readers out there. Something happened to my phone in the recording. It's probably going to sound weird. I'm going to go back and figure out what happened, but I tried to pick up where I left off. But anyway, we're going to continue moving forward to chapter 4, the 7 planets. Like I said before, we're going to do a bunch of skipping around. And we're going to learn what we need to learn for the day when it's time to learn it. So today I don't feel like we need to start where we left off in video 2 with the introduction. I wanted to skip to chapter 4 just to gain some insight. Ancient astrologers in Persia looked up at the night sky and saw that there were 7 lights that moved in regular ways that were independent of the seemingly fixed background of the stars. All the stars appeared to sweep across the night sky from east to west due to the rotation of Earth. But these 7 lights moved in other ways that were predictable, unlike the movements of comets and meteors, which came and went. These 7 visible lights are the planets of traditional astrology, and they are still shining down on us today, just as they shone down on the Magi of Persia 5,000 years ago. Why? You may wonder, does a worker of ritual magic need to know about the ancient planets? You need to know about them because of all of Western magic is based, to a greater or lesser degree, on astrology, which we may call the mother of all magic. The planets are quite useful in practical magic operations. Each planet has its own unique nature, and the natures of the planets are linked in an occult way with sets of symbols, classes of objects, kinds of environments, human personality types, and hierarchies of spirits. By manipulating the energy of a planet, you can control the things, events, and beings that lie under the authority of that planet. In our modern age, we understand that the planets revolve around the sun and that there are more of them that are visible to the naked eye. However, the cosmology of magic is based on the ancient geocentric model that was accepted by most of the ancient, turn the page, world, where the Earth is the fixed center of the universe surrounded by concentric rotating transparent spheres in which are set the planets and the stars like jewels set in the surface of hollow glass balls. And that is a mouthful. The 7 spheres of the planets nest one inside the other, and they turn on an invisible cosmic axis running through all of them. This turning makes the planets move across the sky. Surrounding them, all is the sphere of the fixed stars. All of the visible stars are set in the surface of this crystalline outer sphere, and their locations relative to each other always remain the same, fixed into place. This is the ancient view of the cosmos. The stars were believed not to wander like the planets. You may scoff and say that that's not an accurate model of the solar system. From a scientific perspective, it is not accurate, but it is a very natural way to regard the cosmos. When you stand looking up at the sky, does the ground appear to move beneath your feet, or does it feel stationary? Unless there's an earthquake, the ground never moves. Yeah, but it feels like it's moving because I've actually done that before. The lights in the sky are points, with the exception of the sun and the moon. It was natural to call those that did not appear to change position, the fixed stars, and those points of light that move the wandering stars. It was natural to assume that the sun moved around the earth, just like all the other planets do. After all, doesn't the entire universe revolve around you? When you look out at it from the perspective of your mind, aren't you at the center of everything from your own point of view? Of course you are. That's the natural way of looking at the world. Science has taught humanity to adopt an artificial viewpoint where our awareness must hover somewhere in space high above the plane of the solar system. And of course, from the elevated and detached perspective, we see that the planets do indeed revolve around the sun. In view of the contempt science holds science holds for magic, it is ironic that this projection of the viewpoint is a magical act. Of course it's magical. To work magic, we must retain our natural viewpoint at the center of the universe. When we adopt this view, we see that everything, planets, the sun, the stars, the galaxies, revolve around us. A skilled magician can also shift his point of view at will outside his body to any place he chooses, and then the universe revolves around the projected point of view. And I wanted to just touch on that for a second. Being the center point of the universe, and all of us are center points of the universe, everybody is a center point with the perspective surrounding them. All right. The 7 planets of traditional astrology share the names of 7 of the most prominent gods and goddesses in the pantheon of the ancient Greeks and represent the 7 days of the week. So that is information that is mind-blowing for all you new magicians. All right, so Monday is the moon. Tuesday is Mars, going by Roman. Wednesday is Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter or Zeus or Thor. And Friday, happy Friday today, you guys. Aphrodite, Venus, Freya. Saturday is Saturn and Kronos. And Sunday is Helios, Sol, and the Sun. Although the ancient Romans largely adopted the mythology of the Greeks and came to consider the Greek gods associated with the days of the week to be the same as their own Roman equivalents, they are not exactly the same gods because they had different origins. They are differences between the Greek gods Kronos and the Roman god Saturn, between the Greek Hermes and the Roman Mercury. Although these two are very close, between the Greek Aphrodite and the Roman Venus, and so on. What I've given you in this chapter is the general understanding of these gods used by modern Western magicians. If you wish to learn about the subtle differences between the Greek and Roman gods, you must study the mythologies of these two cultures, and everybody knows that. So just go ahead and get out your Roman mythologies because you're going to have to get into it to add the gods and goddesses energies that you want to incorporate into your magic workings and into your spell work. Okay, so we're pretty much just going to stop right there because it was something that I just wanted to touch on. Everything else gets really in depth, and I might do a symbolism video because they have a list of they have a whole chart of symbols here. And again, this is the 7 planets, chapter 4 with Kinesic magic. Okay, subscribe, guys. Love you guys so much. Keep coming to my channel and keep clicking on these videos because you know you love me and you know I'm what you need to hear. I am an Aquarius here to pour out the knowledge, so come and get this knowledge. ccsmithllc.etsy.com. Go get my spiritual baths. You already know what it is. It's going to be pricey because that's what it takes. You have to put in the energy where the energy needs to be put. Okay, in any type of way, there has to be a sacrifice made, and the same in the Christian community. You have to give in order to receive. All right. So anyway, this is CC the Goddess. Come back for video 4. Okay, love you guys. Bye.